guys, my name is Kush Tracey.
Mr. Burale here.
So let's have a conversation surrounding mental health, and we're having a lot of young people, youths, and even teenagers who are going through depression. A lot of suicidal cases, suicidal thoughts, and guys are really struggling.
Right.
So, what do you think is the problem?
Well, first and foremost, it's a very sad case because, as you've said, it's really, really happening across the globe. Depression is hitting much younger people. Suicidal thoughts and suicidal cases, people dying by suicide. The age has become lower and lower. Gone are the days where we hear cases of people committing suicide because they could not pay school fees for their children. Now it is the school-going children who are being affected by these things. And I do believe there is many factors involved in this. The new age kind of parenthood. We have social media. The digital space is the best thing that happened to us. But also I believe the worst thing that happened to us.
But just for guys who are not maybe understanding the new age kind of parents.
New age kind of parenthood is these parents who don't want to spend time with their children.
They're too busy hustling.
There's a difference. There are other children who don't like that because of, we are now grown and all that. But this thing of, we are buying phones for kids who are very young and they're spending so much time on their phones and we do not monitor what they're watching on their phones. So we've kind of gotten to a place where phones and social media has replaced parenthood. So kids have an overload of information. When you want to find out something, they Google. How do you do this? They Google. It's sad. How do we commit suicide? They Google. And parents are just too busy. Even when you go to church or at a function and the kids are playing around and they need to keep quiet, what happens? They are given the phones.
To play
keep
games.
them busy.
And
some of those games have been tailor-made to bring violence. Those funny games where people are fighting, it is violence. You understand what I'm saying? So that new age kind of parenthood where we don't have the family time anymore. We don't have that. I do remember when I was growing up, I would watch wrestling with my dad. I'm in my 40s, I can remember that. So it means how
you guys had The Rock and Stone Cold.
Big Daddy, all those. You can imagine. You can imagine how such a memory makes me feel many years later. So that quality time is of absolute importance. But parents have become too busy to raise their children. We are busy investing for our children and not in our children. And I think another major factor is the digital space, really.
I think the digital space is heavily influential to this generation. Then there's the comparison thing that happens. Everyone is trying to compare their current situation with someone's highlights. So you get into a space where you feel like you have been left out, like everyone else is moving forward and your life is stuck. But then again, it comes back to priorities. Because I feel like young people, they're looking for identity on social media. They're looking for validation on social media. So if you go online, you see someone doing something, then in your mind, you're like, I should be doing this. But then again, it's not even aligned to your born purpose, or if that makes sense. And I think a lot of times that's what I've experienced. Because I even get people DM me and they're like, I really want to become like you. But I'm like, you might not have the capacity to survive, the times I've tried to commit suicide, the times I've gotten into a very dark space. Exactly. You might not have the capacity to survive that because you are not me. And then I think they have the idea we have a perfect life. Everything which we do, works out. So they kind of like assume our lives are perfect.
Right.
And they try to compare their lives, and I think that is also, it's a crisis, it's a problem.
And also looking for identity in as far as if you put a photo or you put a video, if you have many likes, they tend to think that they're special. If people don't comment as you'd like them to, and then you feel that the world doesn't like you. And I've said this time and time again, that identity is an inside job. And your identity must be in Christ Jesus. So the young people should stop looking for posting things primarily for likes.
But I think it's a sickness, if that's what I can say. Have you seen the guys for, hashtag follow for follow? our say wanakwanga like tu watatokea even you go like on
follow me and I'll follow you something.
Our say if you follow I follow back. Then there's a time I was like, okay, ask a question. I was like, so where are we following you to? Because number one, your page has no content. If there's anything you've posted, sometimes it's nothing, like it's just.
But you know what they're playing on?
Yeah.
People just want followers.
For what? That's the problem. They don't understand.
They don't care about the content.
Yeah.
As long as you go on and you are told you have 1 million followers, it's exciting these young people.
So they want the excitement and the thrill.
And every time you see people posting things that have no importance, all the time, it's a sign of emptiness on the inside. It's a sign of and I want to tell these young people that you don't really need to look for validation and your identity on the social media spaces. There people largely lie. They don't put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's why when somebody says something bad about you on your comment section, somebody wants to go and see a counselor. We have become too soft because we are looking for shortcuts, microwave kind of identity. But even families spend time together. It's as simple as that.
But social media has taken a very huge part. Like, I've seen like families. Sometimes, you know, like on a Sunday you go somewhere, then you're seeing families and, you know, you're just there. Of course, I don't have my own family yet. But when you're looking at families and the father is like on the phone scrolling.
All on
the mother, and then it's so interesting. It's always like TikTok. Someone is on Facebook. Another person is like on Instagram.
But the saddest thing
now,
is...
watoto wako kwa games.
The saddest thing is you sit somewhere and somebody's on social media.
Yeah.
And they burst out laughing alone. People are getting crazy.
And you already have people you can talk to, but you'd rather laugh at memes and some jokes on your phone. But I think we are having a crisis of social media addiction.
Right.
And people don't really know they're addicted. Because there are people like who are very obsessed.
Right.
Social media. I need to see who's viewing my
post. The powers
who's
that be are using social media to control people. And I know we have gone over and above our time. I'm looking at the clock, but all I'll tell you, identity is an inside job. Yeah.
You know, I say this, one day we will wake up and these social media platforms are not there. And if your identity is based on your availability or you being on social media, then you're going to go through, I don't know, deeper depression. Is there like something above depression?
It will be a crisis.
Yeah, because if that is what is driving you, then you have no sense of purpose outside an app that someone created.
Absolutely. Wow.
And that can be taken away.
Energy Radio.